Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. What? Explain myself. What do you mean? Oh, the fact that I haven't uploaded the video in like several months. Oh, I see. Okay. Um, let me explain. So I kind of did the bad thing. I kind of got a life. Yeah, I know. I have actually managed to touch grass. So that means I'm legally no longer a gamer. But I'm still somehow depressed, so let's just do some Radiohead content. I don't know, man. Anyway, today we're gonna do the basic thing, and we're gonna rank all of Radiohead's projects. Also, I'm gonna be including Pablo Honey, The Bends, OK Computer, Kid A, Amnesiac, Hail to the Thief, In Rainbows Disc 1, In Rainbows Disc 2, The King of Limbs, and a Moon-Shaped Pool in this video. So it's 10, and that makes it cool. And I consider Disc 2 as an album, kind of, not really, but kind of. We'll count it, I guess. So let's just get into the number 10 spot, I guess. Wow, it's only the most obvious number 10 spot of all time. At number 10, I have Pablo Honey, and it's because all of it is kind of just good, but mediocre. It's not got the flavor that the other ones have, and that's my kind of problem with it. But it's still a decent record. I love Blowout, and I like the song Ripcord quite a bit as well. The other ones I'm not too into though. So that's basically it for that. At number 9, I gotta be honest with myself, it's The King of Limbs. Now, The King of Limbs has actually a lot of underrated songs. I can name 3 songs that are at least good, that being Lotus Flower Codex and Separator. But I'm not too into the first half at all, actually. I'm kind of just not into the first half. Bloom is interesting. Morning Mr. Magpie, I don't like at all. Little by Little is also actually a good song, good point. And then there's Feral, and I don't really like Feral at all. It's really weird, so we'll ignore that song's existence on here. And that's kind of the point, that the first half just kind of doesn't live up to the second, and even Give Up the Ghost I don't really like very much. I think it's overrated as hell. So yeah, that's why it's ninth place, I guess. Next up. Alright, for 8th place, this one was quite hard too, but I'm gonna go with Hail to the Thief. This one is just kinda, it's a little different, you know? It's weird because most Radiohead albums have a consistent-ish sound to them. Um, like, OK Computer is dystopian guitar rock, alt rock stuff. Kid A is electronic stuff, so is Amnesiac. But Hail to the Thief is just everything put into a bundle package with a sprinkle of politics. And I don't know why, but I'm not into too much of this thing. I will say though, I am actually a fan of a song that most people aren't a fan of, and that's Backdrifts. I just find it really interesting, and most people don't find it interesting. Obviously, I also love the singles. Go to Sleep didn't really hit with me when I first listened, but as I listened to it more and more, it's just been getting better. As for the rest of the track listing, I don't really know. It's just kinda eh. Alright, number 7, I'm gonna put the In Rainbows Disc 2 here. I just really don't think this lives up to the first disc at all. And I put the first disc really high on this list, but I won't say where, but this disc is just kind of eh. But there's a couple songs on here that I just gotta mention. Last Flowers is absolutely beautiful. It's so fun. So same goes with Go Slowly as well. Them 2 songs, they are just beautiful. And also Up on the Ladder, I think it um, is also a really good song. I think this is a really good example of how Radiohead can create a good old groove. Alright, with number 6, I'm gonna have to go with The Bends. And this thing has grown on me to the point where my original opinion seems unrecognizable. This thing is actually a pretty quality rock record, and originally I just kind of didn't vibe with that because it wasn't really different. But I actually think this album has a lot of unique stylistic choices. It's just, it's not as Radiohead as some others, you know? It doesn't peak that Radiohead uniqueness that it needs to become this more special and unique record. However, I can listen to this thing, and obviously, again, the singles, except for High and Dry, I don't really like that one, are pretty good. I like Planet Telex. I like a good old Street Spirit. Listen, I don't know. And I kind of just think this album is kind of just a basic rock, good rock album in their roster, but I think it's a good one. So, props to Radiohead, and sorry if this part sounded awkward. That's because it really was. I don't know what happened. Alright, at number 5, I'm gonna go with a moon-shaped pool. So this one is just kinda really good. I don't really have anything to complain about these records anymore. Every record from here, I think, is almost basically perfect, but there's still like levels of perfect, and this one is on the lowest of that. I just think the style works a lot, but it needs some more fine tuning. For example, on the song, what was it? I forget the name of it, but it's the one with like the cool like bossa nova. I feel like it needs a bit more things going on, especially during like the intro. Like it just doesn't feel. It feels a little too spacious, you know. I know that's the whole point. It's meant to feel like cinematic, but it just doesn't work for me. Um, but yeah, this album is still perfect. Basically, there's not many problems I have with it. Um, but yeah, especially songs like Daydreaming, man. I know a few seconds ago I said I didn't like cinematic, but in the daydreaming way, I do. Like, it sounds so good. Also, I gotta give props to the B-side, the Spectre B-side. I wish it was the James Bond theme. Alright, at number 4, I'm gonna go with one of my personal, what I'd say is the most underrated Radiohead album on this list, Amnesiac. Now, a lot of people say this thing is really low down in their lists, and I really just don't get it. This album is really good. Like, I know it's pretty experimental, and no, I'm not the one to go around listening to Hunting Bears and Poke Pole Revolving Doors, but the rest of the track list is actually pretty quality. Yes, that includes Like Spinning Plates. I actually like that song. Sue me. Anyway, I personally think that this is probably one of the more hard to listen to Radiohead records. Probably the hardest Radiohead record to listen to, maybe but The King of Limbs. But honestly, I don't care. You know, I don't care. This thing is just what I'd like to listen to. I'm a funny guy. You know, I like the experimental stuff. You know, and I just feel like this thing really shows, especially in tracks like Pyramid Song. Uh, I Might Be Wrong, Life in a Glass House. In my opinion, it's just really underrated. At number 3, I'm gonna have OK Computer here. Now, OK Computer is usually what someone that is LARPing Radiohead says is their favorite Radiohead album. I can assure you right now that I am not a LARPer. Plus, I actually don't think this is my favorite either, so that helps. But this thing is just kind of the go-to good quality perfect Radiohead music, and from here all of these are perfect. It was such a small margin between these last 3. And it's honestly just the Radiohead Big Three. We all know who Radiohead Big Three is, you know. But honestly, this album is just so good. I don't have any complaints about it. It's just the one I feel like putting in third. And honestly, it's probably because it's the one I listen to, like, practically in the car the least. Like, I don't really listen to this in my day-to-day life. I just kind of have this, you know? I just kind of have this. Uh, on some of the singles, probably, you know? So yeah, I just think this is kind of the basic, perfect Radiohead, you know? Okay, just a sidebar. Usually people would go like number two now, but I'm gonna go straight to number one because it just make the video like everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, blank is in number one because that one's in number two and that's the only one left. So that's boring. So I'm just gonna be like, number one is this, and then I'll do number two after. So as you just saw, my favorite Radiohead album is In Rainbows. Now you may be asking, why not Kid A? Why In Rainbows? Well, let me go by track for you. First track, 15 Step, is really good. The 5/4 time has never worked better in a song, ever. For some reason, it just works here. And I love the duality between the upbeat melody and the dumbass, like, really depressed lyrics. Just the terrible, like, lyric. I don't even know what they're about anymore. They're just, like, offing. But let's go. Body Snatchers is a really good groove, and this honestly is one of my favorites on the record. Nude, I used to not be too into, but I don't know what kind of whack I was listening to back then. This is great music. The reverse vocals just give it that touch of beauty that I could never find on another Radiohead record. Maybe a Moonshaped Pool, that's about it. Um, then there's Weird Fish's Arpeggi, which is my single-handed most favorite. That's not how you say it. My favorite song of all time. Just blank. Period. That's my favorite song. There you go. Not just Radiohead ever. Um, what's the track listing after that? I think it's Falstarp. Maybe. What? I'll say it's Falstarp. I don't even know. Falstarp. Honestly, it's kind of a dud, but it's still perfectly dud. If that makes sense. I don't even know what the track listing is from here. I totally forgot, but I'm just gonna, you know, skip this because this video is already getting really long. So, and then number two, and that leaves Kid A for number two. It's really melodically and like rhythmically complex. It's electronics. It's really cool. It's not really lyrically complex though, but we can ignore that. But yeah, really good electronic record. I listen to songs from it all the time. How to Disappear Completely, one of my favorite songs of all time. And yeah, this is my ranking and like inside the video, and that's the entirety of it. That's the entirety of my Radiohead opinions. Thanks for watching. Jay's out.